how to execute your study plan if you're studying more than two languages or two languages at the same time. And who am I to tell you this? Well, I've been studying languages for 4 years. Right now, I know how to speak English, I'm conversational level in Japanese, and recently I've started learning German too. And the one who I put most hours in is basically just German. Right? I've also become a totally different person because of learning languages, and I want the same thing to happen to you. And so the first point that we're going to be talking about is how to actually execute that study plan of yours. For that, we need to know, okay, what execute means. And execute is basically the ability that you have to do something despite the circumstances that you are in. And so this is the most important thing that you have to understand. It doesn't matter that you feel kind of bad, right? It doesn't matter that basically you don't want to do the thing. You basically do it. It doesn't matter that, I don't know, your girlfriend wants to basically suck your dick. No, it doesn't matter. You have to do the thing, right? And so basically, that's what execute means. Now, how to actually execute? We need to actually know how to prioritize something, right? Because if you don't know how to prioritize something, you will not be able to execute that study plan of yours to study two languages at the same time, right? Now, what prioritizing means? Prioritizing is basically just doing an action before everything else, right? There's people that say, okay, I'm prioritizing my work right now. Like, I want to do like this thing and this other thing, and I'm prioritizing just work and fun. You can't prioritize more than one thing at the same time. This is something that you have to realize. You can't, right? And so that's why I advocate more to study basically one language at the same time. Like only one language and then another language. And so the point that I'm going to give you here is that first, get a good level on one language, right? And prioritize that language first. Don't study the other language that you want to study, even though you think it's going to be more efficient. It's probably not going to be more efficient. Why? Because you have a definite amount of willpower. I mean, there's no proof to of science to this, but like if you're not a very disciplined person, you have a definite amount of willpower. Right, and so first, prioritize one language. Do it. Literally study that language before you study everything else. Right? Do it. Do it like this. Get to a good level in that language, and then you can start the other language. And so basically, that's what I did with my Japanese. I got to the level in which I can understand novels, I can understand anime, I can understand videos, I can understand pretty much everything I want, and I can talk to a conversational fluent level. But I'm not at the point in which I want to be, right? But like to get to that point, I have to spend lots of hours, right? Just immersing in the language, talking in the language, and so it's kind of boring right now because it's not that difficult. I just have to spend hours and that's it. And so because it's not that difficult, I get bored and I want to start another language. That's my reason for right now studying two languages at the same time. And so that's why I tell you, okay, get to a good level in this language and basically you will get to that enjoyable phase, right? And when you get to that enjoyable phase, okay, you can say, okay, I'm going to start learning German now. Because when the two of them collapse, right, in the sense that, let's say that you start Japanese and you start German, and basically you started the two of them at the same time, and so you are at the hard phase in the two of them. It's going to be really difficult because you have to at least spend 2 hours at that hard phase every day, and you're not going to spend like 4 hours studying like in the hard phase Japanese and German. No, you're not going to do that, right? And so that's why I recommend, okay, first spend more time in one language, get to that enjoyable phase, and then you can start the other one in the hard phase. And basically what you can do with this is that, okay, you're going to prioritize the language that you have started right now because it's the hard thing. And so you do the hard thing first thing in the morning, and then after that you do the more enjoyable type of study, which is the language in which you are in a good level in. And so for me, what it will look like, okay, I basically study German first, right? I study German first, I study my vocabulary, I study the sentences that I want to be able to say, I study the sentences that I want to be able to understand, and then after that, it's when I basically start learning Japanese, which is basically my more enjoyable type of study. I read something, and then I start literally just watching anime, and maybe I just try to watch some videos in Japanese, and that's it. Now, Some tips so you basically become a more disciplined person and you have more concentration is wake up early and sleep at the same time, of course, so you have a good sleep schedule, and meditate. And on top of like waking up early, you want to actually fast too. But like this is something that people don't really manage that much, honestly. Like actually fasting is not that difficult, but like that's not the point. The point is wake up early and do the thing. Like literally wake up, maybe brush your teeth, take a bath, and do the thing. By doing this, you will not procrastinate. And actually, you will do it before you do anything else. So it doesn't matter that you have to go to work. It doesn't matter that you have to go to school or college. You will do the thing anyways. And by doing this, you will not procrastinate. Because one of the things that happen to people is that basically they come from work and they want to study language. Okay, cool. But like you can't. You have been efficient for like 8 hours to 10 hours daily. Do you think you have the mental capability, like the mental willpower of just doing something difficult? Of course not. And so that's why you want to have that language in the enjoyable phase. So basically when you come from work, you can do the enjoyable part of the language, which is watching TV. And so that's why I don't recommend doing like 2 languages at the same time in the hard phase, right? Which is learning vocabulary and those phases in which you don't have that much comprehension of the language, right? And so first, do that. Wake up, do the hard phase for 1 hour, 30 minutes before you go to college, before you go to work. If you don't have work, it's perfect. Literally just do like 2 hours of the hard phase and then maybe start your enjoyable phase. But like when you come from work, that's when you want to do the enjoyable phase, right? And for how much time you should do it, well, that's literally kind of phase of like for how much, like for the time you have available, maybe 2 hours first. And then after those 2 hours, you want to do maybe like 3 hours of the enjoyable phase of the language that you are actually in. And so meditation is probably the thing that will increase your concentration the most. And people think that they are not able to meditate because they get distracted. But like the point of meditation is that you get distracted. You haven't thought about this, right? Like the point of meditation is that you get distracted because you think, okay, but like concentration, you have to understand this. Concentration is focusing on one object and regaining the concentration that you have on that object, right? That's concentration. And so in meditation, you are basically doing that thing over and over and over and over and over. And basically that's meditation, right? You focus on an object. Let's say that I want to focus, I don't know, on my keys. And basically I focus on here. I will lose my concentration at some point and I will regain my concentration when my focus, when I basically notice that I have lost my focus, right? And so that's meditation. That's something that you want to do almost every day to improve your concentration, right? And I recommend for people to meditate with guided meditations. You can find guided meditations in YouTube. Like the app that I use right now to meditate is just an app called Medito, which you can find. It's totally free, like in the App Store and in the Play Store. That's the apps that is totally free, like that I use right now. And I meditate for 20 minutes daily, but probably you won't be able to meditate for 20 minutes daily right now. I would recommend for the first month, meditate for like literally 2 to 4 minutes. And then after that month, you may want to do 7 minutes. After that month, maybe 8 minutes. And then if you can do like 10 minutes of meditation for the rest of your life, you are fine. So that's it for the video. Bye. Ciao. Nos vemos.